Most people think of home care as just an expense, something you pay for when things get tough. But what if I told you that home care is actually one of the smartest investments you can make? Not just for your health, but for your finances, your peace of mind, and your family's future. In this video, I'm going to show you how home care works just like an investment with real returns. I'm going to share some examples or made up names, really, but backed up by real data so that you can see the numbers for yourself. And really, don't think I'm biased because I own a home care agency. Really, I want you to think about these examples that I'm going to provide. So, when you invest in money in stocks or real estate, you're looking for a return, less risk, more safety, long-term security. Home care works the same way. Instead of waiting for a crisis, families who invest in home care early often save time, money, and stress later. It's like preventative maintenance for your health and your finances. That's how I like to see it. The average cost of a one-night hospital stay in the US is approximately a little over $3,000. Now, don't worry, I know health insurance covers some of it. Now, the average inpatient hospital stay has an adjusted cost of about $14,000. Again, not considering insurance covering some of it. The median monthly cost of assisted living in the US, depending on where in the US, is a little over $5,000 a month. So these are the kind of numbers we're talking about when we compare home care versus hospital stays versus assisted living. Now, let's look at some real world examples. All right. So think of a case. I'll call Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson, she's 82, lives with diabetes, and has some mobility limitations. She begins getting visits from a home caregiver 3 times a week. The caregiver helps prepare her meals, checks glucose levels, monitors her for early signs of, say, infection. Now, without that support, her risk of a serious infection or complication goes up dramatically, which could lead to a hospital admission. Remember, the average cost of a one-night stay in a hospital is about a little over $3,000 each time. A 3-day hospital stay can run up to $30,000 depending on the severity and the state you're in when you're admitted and what they need to do and help you in the hospital. Now, by contrast, a regular caregiver visit might cost a few $100s a week. For example, $150 to $300 depending on services. But really, it's ultimate to prevent these complications, as I just mentioned for Mrs. Johnson. So think about your return on investment. That modest home care cost may avoid a hospital stay that costs tens of thousands of dollars. So you could technically earn back many times what you would put by staying out of the ER or in the hospital. Now let's use another case. Let's pick David. He's 45, he works full time, and he cares for a father who has dementia. So he's a family caregiver. Now, if David misses work, turns down extra shifts, or even cuts back on hours over a year, that could cost him, let's just say $20,000 to $30,000 in lost wages every given year, because he has to call out and help take care of his father who has dementia. Now, according to the RAND Corporation, family caregivers lose roughly $522 billion in wages each year in the US because of caregiving responsibility. Now, out-of-pocket expenses for an informal caregiver averages about a little over $7,000 annually. So things like medical supplies, travel, home modifications, any of that for the caregiver that can help you or help David in this case. Also, caregivers reduce their work hours or leave jobs entirely. So again, going back to David, it could impact his lifetime earnings, his pension, his retirement savings. So it's not just the immediate impact, but it's a long-term. So by investing in a professional caregiver, even part-time in this case, David protects his earning capacity. The cost of care and the cost of income loss and the emotional stress of trying to juggle everything as a family caregiver can really take its toll, let alone your health. Right, so consider that David example. Now, the last case is Maria. Let's say Maria wants to stay in home as long as possible. Assisted living costs are fairly steep if you think about it. The national median cost of assisted living is a little bit over $5,000 a month, depends on where you are and what type of care you need. In comparison, for a full schedule of a home care, say 44 hours a week, the monthly cost can be around almost a little over $6,000. Nursing home semi-private rooms are even costlier, so over $9,000 a month. So think about if you're not in your home. So going back to Maria, if she invests in home care assistance, helping with bathing, meals, medication reminders, maybe only part-time, gradually increasing as her care needs in the home. By doing that, she stays safely in the home, keeps her quality of life, and delays or avoids moving into assisted living or a nursing home. Now, think of long-term investments, a little bit long-term over multiple years, say over extra 3 years. That assisting living cost adds up, $5,000 a month, right? 3 years add up to $192,000 a year. And let's say for caregiving, it's $2,000 a month. Think about the non-financial benefits as well, right? Of comfort, familiarity in the home, as well as your dignity of staying independent as much as you can in the home. So I always challenge people, when you think about home care, don't just see it as money going out. Think about the financial and the health investment someone pays in dividends over not just 1 month, but years in staying safe, stability, as well as freedom in the home. So really, to recap, a single hospital stay can cost thousands to tens of thousands of dollars each time. The cost of assisted living is a little over $5,000 a month in many locations. In California, it's a lot more expensive. Family caregiving, also think about the loss in wages, opportunity costs, their retirement costs when they have to take care of a family member. So each example, you think about protecting income, extending independence, really shows how home care can provide a serious return on really that investment. Think about it in those terms. Now, if you found this helpful, hit that like button or that subscribe for more tips on aging and caregiving and how to make smart choices for your future. Share this with someone if you like when they're thinking about home care. Maybe that will help drive a different conversation when they think about the cost. And if you've seen how home care has been an investment in your life, financially or health-wise, please drop a story in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks.